Hello, Seth. How are you? How you making out? And what are you working on? Hello, Robert. Everybody having a good day so far? Okay, Seth, tell me what you've been working on. Robert, tell me what you've been working on. Because today I want to do a little reading. We have the Pace book. Well, the Pace, the reading from the Pace book, and we're going to work with some of the syncopation formulas and stick control formulas. So, guys, tell me what's going on, or let me warm up. That always helps. Okay. Do we all understand what a rebound is? It gets a little confusing sometimes. I mean, just a rebound off the drum like so. You worked on the reading. Okay, good. Hello, Paul. Hey, Paul. That was a really good video. You took that, what, from the syncopation book? Good. That's great, Seth. I want to direct this part of the lesson to everybody, exactly, but specifically to Paul, because Paul did something really good. He sent me a good video. You don't mind, Paul, if I'm not criticizing, but being constructive publicly? All right, pages 10 and 12. Do you mind if I talk about your video publicly or privately? Because it's a good video. The only thing I see that needs a little correction is the emphasis on the level system. Now you did page 10. Let me go to page 10. That was real good, Paul. I'm really happy. Page 10. Page 10 you have, and let me know if we're on the same book or the same page, because like I said, the editions are different. All right, it's lesson 4, page 10, line 1. You have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Is that the one? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Hi, Stacy. There's too much. The delay drives me crazy, so I'm going to slow it down a little bit. Now, you did page 10, line 1, lesson 4. 3, 4. Is that the one you were working on, Paul? Okay, good. Now, you did a really good job. Now, I mean, I'm really, nothing is ever perfect. You always want to get it better. I mean, no matter how well some of the exercises I can play, I'm always dissatisfied with myself. And that keeps me, that makes me remain humble. Okay, you did a good job. That's the last time I'm going to say it today, maybe. When you're doing the eighth notes, you were doing them left-handed. Are you lefty, Paul? Now notice when I'm playing it like that, how I emphasize the wrist and the level. That's it. 1 and 2. That would do you much more good, better rather. You get whatever you want to call it. If I'm going like this. See how I exaggerate the motion? Okay? Now, that's a good way to practice it. And that's in the stick control book formulas and the syncopation formulas. Now, just to give you some idea, you keep doing that because that's going to help you both right-handed and left-handed. Now, you want to challenge that a little bit further. So let's say you want to play an eighth note vamp with the left hand, constant. You want to drop the left foot, 2 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now play the line as written with the bass drum. Or just another way. And you were doing them as accents, that's good. Just using alternating strokes, starting with the left hand. I didn't get a response from that one, Paul. Are you left-handed or right-handed? Oh, you're righty. All right, that's great. Hello, Mr. Mante. That's really good, Paul. And you're using, how you doing, old dog? You're using your time to be very productive because you're taking what you need work on a lot more is the left hand. Everybody who is righty has a problem, not a problem, but you know, the left hand has been on vacation most of your life because everything you do is right-handed. The guy Joe last night says, yeah, brush your teeth with your left hand or start opening up a door with your left hand, eat with your left hand, you know, because you want to develop the equalized strength. That's the whole concept of stick control. And yeah, if you think that your left hand is weaker than your right, spend more time on the left hand. Okay, but now don't exceed the right hand with the left, equalize it, balance it out, keep equal time. Now, when I do exercises like so, what I try and do is emphasize the levels because that's what's occurring. I never sit here and perform, which I don't think is a good thing when you're teaching. It's more of a discouragement, I believe. So that's my feeling on it. What you were doing with the left-hand lead was good. When you were doing the left-hand lead, Paul, all right, yeah, we were doing a left-hand reading, swing syncopation. You were going. Was that you were doing, Paul? How come Paul's the only one sending me videos? Come on, guys. I'm trying to help Paul out. I'm helping everybody out, actually, but because Paul sent me the video, I could work on the video with his hand. Well, that's a good thing. But now, mix it up, Paul. You work on the exercise, which is great, okay? Take it a couple steps beyond that. Like, you know, you're playing it with your left hand, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Sorry. Which is great. That's the way you should do it. Hey, if by any chance we get booted, come back in 5 minutes, okay? But you did a really good job, and I'm happy. That's the last time I'm saying that. I said that before. All right, Stacy, your turn. Now, you're working on A rebound, is that what you're doing? And you're working on reading, I guess, the syncopation book? Is that what you're working on, Stacy? And if you're working in the syncopation book, please tell me what page is. Then we'll get to the reading. You deserve it, Paul. Guys, Stacy, let me know. Everybody has the PDFs with the, I call it paste, that come from Ralph C. Pace's book, disorganized in the way he presents it because of copyright infringement. But nobody owns it. 24 to 26, let me see what we got there. $24, okay. Well, I don't know what Jeffrey's doing with you because I haven't spoke to him, but there is a rebound as you get faster. And the way you're really going to obtain a rebound is through the stick control doing, say, half strokes. All I'm doing is popping the stick. I'm allowing the stick to rebound. Now, what you need to do, and probably what you do, I could think this is right. You sort of go to a seesaw method. Now, by seesaw, I mean 1 E and 2 E and. Is that what you were taught, Stacy? Now, when I do this, I'll do it in full strokes, half strokes, or quarter strokes. So if I did it in half strokes, there's a rebound. The stick comes back to that same position before I continue to read. 1 E and 2 E and. There's no E and 4 and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Do you see that, Stacy? When you say rebound, that's a rebound. I drop the stick at that starting point, it comes back. The stick rebounded to the starting point. I start here, it comes back. I'm not lifting that stick whatsoever. I'm stopping in that stick at the starting point. This is the quarter stroke. I throw down, it comes back. Half stroke, it comes back. The only thing that's preventing a rebound is you, the way you're holding the stick. Are you holding your sticks tight? Well, that's what I figured. Seesaw is not what's occurring. See, there's an illusion there. Years ago, I studied with a gentleman called Charlie Tappan. And Charlie Tappan comes from the Adler building. And I call this the Adler system, or the Adler method, which is seesaw. See, when I, for example, play single strokes, say 16ths, the illusion is I'm seesawing, but I'm not. I'm rebounding. So what I'm doing is throwing the stick down from one point. 1 E and 2 E and. It might, as I get faster, the rebound's still there, but the left hand, if I'm leading with the right, the left hand rebound is in just afterwards. For example, if I hold the right stick like this, and I hold the left stick, if you're holding traditional like this. Now, I can't rebound. I mean, seesaw, because I'm not preventing the stick. I'm allowing the stick to do what it wants. So if I'm going, it's all rebound. The way you're really going to feel a rebound, I'm sure that he told you, say do stick control book, full strokes, half strokes, and quarter strokes. If you're doing them in half strokes, or vamping, 4 measures right, 4 measures left, and keeping the same sound on the right And the left, you're right in the money here. 2, 3, 4, left. 2, rebound. 3, 4, right hand. 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, left. Now, you're working like this. You were seesawing 1, E, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. That's very tense. Okay? And that's not what's occurring with the stick. Henry Adler had a commercial way of teaching for 4 or 5 years, like that, taking your money, you're a steady student. And after that, he said, all right, now it's time to loosen up. Huh. Oh, really? So what did you do for 4 or 5 years? Stay tight, you loosen up. You're always loose when you play. Stay loose. Now, another way to condense, or consolidate rather, an example like this, developing a rebound. Let's say, nice and easy, you're going to play a 16th note vamp with the left hand. 1 E and that's all rebound. 4 E and now against that left hand doing the rebound, you're going to read the page, say on another surface over here. Okay? 1 E and 2. No seesaw. I can't. Do you see that, Stacy? You're sorry you're back. Why are you sorry you're back? You got booted? No, this seesaw is totally wrong. Loose hands. I don't believe in any stretching exercises or whatever. I just believe in keeping the sticks in your hand and become loose. To a warm-up exercise. Usually the standard warm-up would be stick control book, full strokes, the left-hand side of the page with the vamp. Okay? If you don't have time to do that, vamp 4 measures with the right, 4 measures with the left for about a minute or 2. That'll make you feel the rebound. Take a tempo 100, 120. 4 measure vamp with the right, 4 measure vamp with the left. Now, if your left hand is weaker, do 8 measures with the left, 4 measures with the right, because now your left hand has to try to catch up to all these years of just right-sided. So now you want to do the left side. And when you're playing, for example, open-handed, I don't really sit there and play open-handed when I'm playing music, but what open-handed playing does is strengthen both sides. Okay? And I think we've gone over this, but if you're having problems with a rebound, if you're working on those pages, I just recommend doing a vamp. I'm doing a 16th note vamp, okay? 1 E and 2 E and I'm just letting the stick rebound. Just like I get a sponge ball, or I don't know if you remember high bouncers, but Larry, a sponge ball is more common. I get a sponge ball and throw it up against the wall, it rebounds naturally back to me. Now, the slower I throw the ball to the wall, the slower the rebound is. So I'm not stiff here. I just throw it down with force. It's a rebound. You would want to play, you can do that exercise, or you can play alternate strokes. That's what I'm sure you're doing. Or one hand. 1 E and 2 and 3, left hand 4 and 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That'll help you with the rebound. Okay? Now, another thing, all these exercises are related. If, for example, what Paul and I went over just before, what you can do is change the vamping pattern. He was doing 8th notes and he was reading the line as accents. Now that's in the stick control book formulas, okay? And it's an exercise I've given you. Now, for example, if I want to play, if I'm playing 16th notes, 1 E and a 2, 3, 4. Okay, now read the line with the same hand, but now I'm at one volume here. I'm going to read the line straight 16ths, but I'm going to accent the written part. 1 E and the now we go. Yeah. 1 E and the 2 E and. You see that, Stacy? Or you could play 16th notes and play it down with your bass drum. Keep that left hand moving so you're getting the rebound. You see all those different exercises? And when you come here, we're going to do that. Not a problem. You're always late, Jimmy. Again, timeouts here. Hey, Jimmy, you sent me a message about the DW beaters. They're great beaters, but they're not going to work on an 18-inch bass drum. No way. There's nothing to hit. Twenty inches is the minimum. 22, 24, and if you want to get crazy, you can do 26. Now, Stacy, does that make any sense to you? And Paul, you opened up a whole can of worms here for everybody. Thank you. All right, so now, if there's any more questions, Stacy, can I help you out a little bit more? If you have you're experiencing something that you want to talk about, or we can go to the reading. And this is the way I teach the reading. The reading that I sent you, like I said, I made up some of my own, but I randomly took figures from the Ralph C. Pace book. And I mixed them up, like I said, because of copyright infringement. Okay, now, what I do here, to learn how to read, people get very confused, like, the dot, the rest, the dotted eighth note rest. What's an eighth note rest? A 16th note rest. Well, this kind of covers most of it. Now I'm going to do the first line. Page 1, the first line, okay? I'm going to do the left-hand side of the line, of the measure, the line rather, okay? Now I have a 16th note and a 16th note rest, an eighth note rest and a 16th note. Now mathematically, if you add that up, you have 1/16, an eighth note rest, which is equal to 2/16. So far we got 3/16, plus the additional 16th gives you 4/16. Reduce that, boom, you got a quarter. You can't go wrong, you think like that. So the first one, I'm counting 16ths. 1, E, and da. Okay? So now I'm going to play what's written for the first downbeat. 1, E, and da. Simple. Now you go to the second downbeat, you have an eighth note rest. That's equal to 2/16, so that takes care of 1 E. Now you have a 16th note and then a 16th note rest. So to play the second downbeat, I have 2 E and da. All right, now I go to the third downbeat. Is that what I did that right? Yeah. I go to the third downbeat. I have a 16th note rest, so that's 1. A 16th note, E. An eighth note rest, and da. I go to 4, you have a dotted eighth note rest, so that equals 3/16, and then the 16th note, da. Now, it gets confusing because there's a lot of counting, but it makes you think, and it makes you separate and understand the math. Now, what I did was give you a proofreading kind of thing there on the right-hand side. I'm running 16th notes. I'm going to play it on the hi-hat nice and light. Let me take this down. I'm going to play it on the hi-hat real nice. This 16th now, that sucks. Ha! All right, let's hit 1, E, and a 2. See that? 3, that's all I'm playing. Now, the accents are what is the figure on the left-hand side of that line. of the first measure. So I have 1 E. If I wasn't sure if I'm reading it right, forget about doing a vamp. I just play the accents. Count 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the. That's proofreading it. Okay? Do you see that? We're going to straighten that all out for you there, Stacy. Not a problem. You come to a stop sign, you got to look around and see if you can go. And if you can go, that means you're getting better. And we'll figure it out. Anyway, Joe, how you doing? Okay. Do we understand the reading? Hey, Joe, are you on my mailing list? Or are you trying to confuse me? Is Joe Shields? Please tell me who you are. Now, does everybody understand how I approach the reading to make sure that you're doing it correctly? Thank you, Joe, for giving her the encouragement. You want it, you're always going to get it. Does everybody understand how I'm proofreading the reading? The reading is not difficult. It's just that you need to focus in on where you're at with the 16th notes. Do we all understand that? Again, I look at the figure, 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the. Now I just played it on the hi-hat, but I played the written line, but now I say, gee, you're not sure of if that's correct or not. You go to the second measure on that line. You're counting the 16th notes, but you're just playing the accents. The accents is what's written on the previous measure. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and the 4 E and the. You got it? You don't understand? You don't have the PDF. You're doing. I don't understand. Well, you understand how to proofread that, correct? I mean, don't try to be no star here. We're just learning how to read. And it's not so much that someday, you know, hopefully, yeah, you can get a gig with a big band or reading charts or whatever. But this is teaching you the math of notation. And once you get the math, man, you can read anything. We're not talking about it as, what's this, Jimmy? Thank you. You understand that better. Paul, you understand it. Robert, you got it right, Robert. Old dog, you understand. Stacy, Mr. Mante, do we understand that? Joe Smith, that's Joe Shields. Oh, if it is, welcome back. I didn't send you a PDF on this, but I will now. Is it as Joe Smith or Joe Shields? If you want the PDFs. Now, this is going to help you. And you can consolidate this in a few different ways. And when I say consolidate it, you know, when I say vamp 4 measures with the right 16th notes, 4 measures with the left 16th notes, or 8th notes, or triplets, you can do the same thing when you proofread it. Okay? I mean, first establish the fact, yeah, that's what the figure is, and yep, that's how it's played. Now I got it right because I see the accents. Another way to do this, now what you do, and you're going to exercise your right hand and left hand doing this. So if I'm playing, you're proofreading like you. Everybody seems to understand that. So let's consolidate the practice. Okay, so let's play 16th notes with the left hand. Now what you're doing is working that left hand. You're increasing the flow. You're getting it down real nice. That left hand, you got the rebound going. All right, and then play the figure with the bass drum. 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and I'm sorry, I made a mistake there. I'm thinking about Joe Shields. Okay, let me try it again. I'm playing the 16th note vamp with my left hand, and now I'm going to play the figure with my bass drum. 4 E and the 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the. Now what you're doing there is twofold. You're working the hell out of your left hand, and you're playing the figure with the bass drum. So you're accomplishing quite a bit there. You're strengthening your reading, plus you're strengthening the left hand. You can reverse it and use the right hand. And now play, let me take this, play the line with the left foot. Gotta fix the hi-hat, sorry. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a now E and a 4 E and a 1. Do one time with the left foot, one time with the right foot. Or you can play the figure between the bass drum and the hi-hat, alternating it. It's a lot of fun. Practicing is not boring. Now you're accomplishing a whole lot. Okay, we understand that. It's going to help you. Now, all of that stuff, you know, what you did, Paul, was fine, but you got to emphasize more of the levels, for example, and it's all in the stick control formulas. And also, it's a proofreading thing too in the syncopation formulas. You see the line straight up and down, then you see on the right-hand side a bunch of accents, eighth notes with accents on them. That's proofreading, make sure that you understand the line, reading the line. It's also presented to you in eighth note triplets and the line is swung. It's also presented as 16th notes and playing the line with your left hand or right hand. There's all different kinds of ways to accomplish this. And what you want to emphasize is the weaker side. The weaker side is where you need the work, okay? So you need that work. Work on it, make it stronger. That's going forward, that's going to help you. I mean, you're not going to play this in a tune, but yet you're developing control, you're developing strength. Whereas what you're called upon or you feel or you want to say inside of the tune, you can play it because you have the execution ability. That's all. Case closed. And that's, hey Paul, is that a real field drum pad? I never saw one like that. I have the old ones, the rubber, the ones with the black and the regular gum rubber on the top. Okay, Joe Smith, I will send you the PDFs as soon as I finish the lesson, okay? Now, anything you want me to go over? First though, Robert, you understand everything, correct? We're going to continue on the reading tonight. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to get into it a little bit further. And then tomorrow we're going to hang out with some jazz. And tomorrow, Thursday, what is tomorrow's date? The 30th, I think. If it's the 30th, then it's Jazz Day for Paul. It's his day. And I'll give everybody here their day on, we'll work on what they want to work on. You email me, tell me. And it seems, you know, the communication between us seems to be very productive because it's being helpful that, you know, you're telling me what you want to work with. I will not expose who sent it to me unless you'd like me to. And I asked Paul his permission and he gave it to me. Now that helped everybody. Thank you very much, Paul. Hey, Jimmy. Good, Rob. You don't have any questions. It's a good pad. It sounds nice. Everybody, you know, I don't have the aquarium drum pad. I have all the Off-World, the Real Feel, Remo, that other one there with the quiet tone. Okay, no questions? And please, feel free to send me an email if you need help on a particular section. You want to review it and make sure that you're doing it correct. Or if you don't understand it, be honest, and we'll take it down from ground zero. No problem. I do like that aquarium pad. It's a nice pad. Jimmy, don't order those pedals on an 18-inch bass drum. You're going to save yourself $600. Got it, Jimmy? Oh, today's the 27th. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay? No problem, Joe. I'm just about to sign off anyway. I'm not going to get into any more subject matter. But now, guys, when I do, like I requested, I just said if it's okay with everybody, July, August, 2 days as opposed to 4, I will give longer lessons on that day. Instead of a half hour, I'm going to try to get an hour in. Okay? You have tip. All right, well, if you ordered them, all right. Okay, guys, any questions before I sign off? All right. To try them, I was a little jealous. You're welcome, Paul. Good job, man. So, guys, Paul's the one that sent me, he went forward, sent me videos. I mean, that's very nice. And I didn't persist to do it, and he did it. And it really helped me see where he's at. Good. Old Dog sent me a lot of videos as well. The problem is with the videos, if you're going to do it, say with your computer camera or your camera on your phone, to use drums, the condensers in the mic will not support the drums. Okay, what you need to do, if you have a better camera, you could do it through a better camera, and you could send me the videos raw. And when I say raw, it doesn't mean you have to upload them to YouTube. But it's actually better if you do. What's this, Robert? Let's see. Well, I appreciate all you guys having the faith in me too, Robert. Thank you. Okay, we'll see everybody tonight, 7 p.m. Have a good day. And please email me with questions and videos. Stacy, talk to you soon. Oh, you want to talk about the coffee? I don't have a grinder. I have one of those Mr. Coffees. Stacy and Seth are coming up here the end of the month. But we had Jimmy and his friend are afraid to get the, the virus. Okay, see everybody tonight. You guys did real good. All right, have a good night.